Hi, I'd like to take a few minutes of your time to talk about the Pearl of Starlight Tour that we're going to be launching in February. Now, this is an exciting new tour. Many of you I have had the opportunity to see at the lectures and seminars for biogenesis. And we've had different types of seminars over the years, the ones that introduced you to the basic tools of biogenesis, and then the Course of Eternal Life, the one that introduced you to the process of creating, as well as the chair program, the Genesis Acceleration Program. But this program is very unique. Starting in February, we are going to be doing a series of lectures all around North America, Asia, Europe, South America, Africa, and Australia. We will be hitting 6 continents with this tour over the course of just a few months, 3, 4, 5 months. And this tour is only going to be done one time. These lectures will only be done once in each of these locations. And once the tour is completed, the lecture will not be given again. Now, this lecture is very special because not only do you get information, but you actually receive personalized, individualized instruction, a pearl of knowledge. This is actually very important and very exciting for us. Lantos just told us about this a couple of weeks ago. That was when we first found out about this. Lantos introduced this idea to us. He said, "Greetings, dear ones. We will instruct individually, individual instruction. We will bring the pearl of starlight to every continent in our blessed global network of light. To each continent, we will deliver a precious individual pearl of knowledge, a pearl of starlight, one by one enlightening, one by one igniting the individual ray of starlight. Continent by continent, we will carry the pearls of starlight to each of our blessed masters of the light. To each of our beloved masters of starlight, we will deliver the personal instruction, the precious pearl of knowledge." Yes, the knowledge comes to fulfill the call of the times. The time is now for the accomplishment of the present phase of action, for the accomplishment of the global network of the light of Genesis, the phase of the removal of the locations of residue, the residue which generates an interference in the blessed expansion and cohesion of the radiant beams of the reflections of the mighty great star of Genesis, generated by the beloved chambers of eternal light in the lands across the earth. Through this tour of the Pearl of Starlight, we will offer both instruction as well as the gift of a Pearl of Genesis. Yes, we will offer the Pearl of Genesis as the luminous gift to those blessed masters receiving this sublime personal instruction. It is sublime. This is a full program, and this is the path illumined. This is the path of illumined action which leads us to the goal. Our continents of Earth, the blessed North America and South America, blessed Asia and Africa, and our blessed Europe and the continent of Australia. To these 6 locations, we will spread the pearl of starlight. So this was the first time that Lantos told us about this tour, and even about this new tool, a pearl of Genesis, a pearl of starlight. He has, in the past 2 weeks, spoken a few more times about this. In his January 12th weekly message, Lantos explained that this tour was going to be a movement, and the purpose was to fulfill phase 2 of the global network of the light of Genesis, but also to impart this knowledge for the individual and the gift for the individual. Lantos said, "Dear ambassadors of starlight, we announce today the movement to place the required starlight chambers in the locations of deep global residue. This is the movement to accomplish this most significant phase of action in our path to establish the global network of the light of Genesis." This movement is just that, movement. It is a global tour, a tour which will land on every continent to bring forth knowledge, to bring forth light, light to every continent, as well as the removal of the residues for the earth. We will meet individually with each of our beloved ambassadors of light, each individually, to offer the pearl of knowledge, a pearl of star light. We will instruct individually on each continent. We will meet with our blessed ambassadors one by one, igniting a ray of starlight, a pearl of starlight within each blessed ambassador. So it's important to know that this instruction, this one-on-one personalized instruction, is individualized for you. Lantos said in his January 15th message, we are scheduling a tour to commence in 1 month's time to bring to each blessed ambassador the individual pearl of starlight. This requires individual instruction, personal instruction. We will give to each individual a blessed new tool. This tool is a master tool. It is the pearl of starlight. Along with this pearl of substance, we will impart the pearl of knowledge. This is a personalized instruction, which will be delivered to each blessed ambassador by our radiant voice of the light of Genesis. You, and here Lantos was speaking directly to Cindy, you will present the instructions to each ambassador as you receive these few words of sublime light. We are bringing to every continent the radiant light, and one by one, we are bestowing the precious pearls of starlight to illumine the heart and being of each of our dear ambassadors with the radiance of the mighty new form, the supreme radiance of the great star of Genesis. So yes, in that message, Lantos made it clear. Cindy will be getting the information for each one of you individually. She will be providing this information to each of you individually. Now, at some of these tour locations, Cindy will be physically there, meeting with you one-on-one to provide you with this information directly from Lantos. In other locations, Cindy will receive this information in Hawaii and then provide it to us for that one-on-one instruction with you. Now, as for the cost, the seminar is going to be divided into 3 basic sections. There is a group class, there is a final lecture, and then there is the individualized period of instruction, the personal instruction for each individual. The group class is free. This will be the instruction that goes throughout the day on a number of different topics, and it's completely free. The final lecture is also completely free. It is the individual instruction for which there is a cost. Lantos said the individual instruction in the Pearl of Starlight will be offered for the price of a single chamber of eternal light, a single ray of starlight, a single beacon of starlight. This is the blessed Pearl of Starlight. We will bring this pearl to each city of light on each continent. Yes, very good. So that means that the individual instruction is $795. That is the cost of a donated chamber of eternal light. And while Lantos didn't say this directly, it's probably not a coincidence when we consider that the purpose of this tour, Lantos made clear, is to accomplish phase 2 of the global network of the light of Genesis, positioning the chambers of eternal light all around the world in those locations of deep residue, those locations that need the light the most. This is phase 2. It is the most significant phase of action in the global network of the light of Genesis. And this is the purpose of this tour. You receive the benefit of the Pearl of Starlight. You receive the benefit of the Pearl of Knowledge. You receive the benefit of having the individual ray of starlight ignited within yourself. But the world receives the benefit not only of that ray of starlight being ignited within you, but the world also receives the benefit of a chamber of eternal light being positioned in some deep pocket of residue somewhere around the world because of you. So this is the cost of the individual instruction. One donated chamber of eternal light at $795. Now, this is a very special tour. In fact, it is so special that we do not think it is ever going to be offered again. We believe that this knowledge is only going to be offered this one time. Lantos spoke to Cindy about this. In fact, this happened when I was on the conference call with you, and I was speaking about this, saying that as far as we know, this is only going to happen during this tour. Once this tour is completed, we will not be providing this knowledge again. Lantos came to Cindy as I was speaking that, and this is what he said. Blessed masters of the light of Genesis, blessed ambassadors of illumined action, the arrival of the pearl of knowledge is the arrival of knowledge at the time it is needed. This is the opportunity to receive this blessed instruction and master tool of starlight. We will give out today the schedule of locations. Let us give to our blessed ambassadors the cities of light. Very good, very good. So that makes it very likely that this is the only opportunity that we will have to provide to you this knowledge, this individualized instruction, and the pearl of starlight. So this tour, the Pearl of Starlight Tour, this is a tour that is going to start in February. It is going to cross all 6 continents with the exception, of course, of Antarctica. It is going to be imparting the pearl of knowledge for each ambassador of the light, for each person. You become an ambassador of light when you take forth this light. It will impart this pearl of knowledge, igniting an individual ray of starlight within yourself. And along with this, you will receive the free gift of the new master tool, the pearl of starlight. And also, we do believe that this is the only way for someone to actually receive the pearl of starlight, is to go through this individualized instruction and receive the pearl of knowledge. Now, I mentioned that the locations, some of them Cindy would be at, others she would not be at. For each location, you will receive the individualized instruction from Lantos. Cindy will provide it to you. It's just in some locations, she will be sitting there directly in front of you, receiving the information from Lantos and giving it to you. And in other locations, she will have received this instruction a day in advance, and then we will provide this to you individually. At this point, we know the cities, the locations in North America where we will be conducting this tour. Los Angeles will be in February on the 22nd and 23rd. Then San Francisco on March 1st and 2nd. Vancouver, Canada will be March 8th and 9th. Denver, Colorado, March 15th and 16th. Aspen, Colorado will be the following weekend, March 22nd and 23rd. Then down to Dallas, Texas, March 29th and 30th. And Houston, Texas, April 5th to 6th. New Orleans, Louisiana will be April 12th and 13th. Atlanta, Georgia will follow on April 26th to 27th. Washington, D.C. will be the following weekend, May 3rd and 4th. Rochester, New York will be May 10th and 11th. And New York City, New York will be May 17th and 18th. For these, we know that the first 3, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Vancouver, will be locations where Cindy will be personally there. She will be personally present at some of the other locations, but we don't yet have that information. How you register for this course is quite simple. Give us a call. Let us know that you want to attend. Tell us which course you want to attend, and we will put your name on the list. The cost for the registration is $795. With that, you receive the course, you receive the instruction of the Pearl of Knowledge, and you receive the master tool, the Pearl of Starlight. We plan on getting more information about this in the coming days and weeks, and I will certainly share that with you. But for now, this is the information we have. One final thing I should say, when a city is filled up, when one location has the maximum number of people who have registered, then we won't be able to allow any more registrations for that location. We are allowed to instruct 40 people per day, and we can have either 1, 2, or 3 days of individual instruction. So that means 120 people is the maximum number of people who can be instructed in one city. Once that number is reached, we won't be able to instruct anybody else in that city. So if you happen to be located in one of these cities, you'll want to register quickly so that you definitely have reserved your space in your own city. If you don't live near any of these cities and you want to travel to one of the cities in particular, perhaps you've got a favorite city that's on that list, or perhaps you want to make sure to go to one of the cities where Cindy will be located. Then again, you'll want to register just as soon as possible to make sure that your space is reserved in that particular location. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for your time, and I'll talk to you again soon with more information about this Pearl of Starlight tour.